Yo, let's check the mic. All right, connected. Oh, mad. It's so weird. I thought I put the mic on charge. I haven't. I'm gonna try and see what I can get with the battery that I have today. Right now, just heading to the gym. I'm gonna train legs today, so I'm gonna cycle there. I might have to do like a voiceover if I don't get the opportunity to talk while I'm training, like a voiceover or integrative video where I'm speaking and add it to the video. Today I'm going to do legs. That's it. To warm up, I'm going to be cycling to the gym, get the legs nicely activated. I'd mentioned before in a previous video that some days I'll just cycle, and it's a nice way to get my legs conditioned and strong, and also build size depending what setting you put or what gear you put on your bike. If you put the gear on the hardest setting and you cycle, you could really build some good muscle. You've got some cyclists with some incredibly sized legs, and you have some people who are quite slim. It really depends on body type, depends on their diet, how long they've been doing it for, and how they cycle. But much of it is to do with body type and how they train and eat. Interesting stuff. Anyway, it's going to be a good one today. Hope you enjoy the video. Yo! So I've already done 2 sets of some seated calf raises, and I'm about to do some more. I normally like to start with calves whenever I'm training legs because that's my weakest body part. For years, I skipped legs, not legs, calves, simply because I just didn't really care. I was like, quads, hamstrings, my glutes was always there, so I never really worked on that so much. I guess it just, as a secondary activation, my glutes are getting fired up anyway. But with calves, even with competing, there's never a calf flex, and you've got some greats who had done very well on the stage and had never been judged by their calves. But I would say for me, just for my own preference for aesthetics appeal, now I target calves. I start off with it first of all, as I said, seated calf raise, and then I might do some standing or another seated one, the one where the pad is on the legs. I prefer seated because sometimes when you do standing, it's so easy to cheat and use a bit of quads to push yourself up. But when you're seated, you can kind of push through your quads a bit, but it's harder to cheat. Go for another set. At the moment, it's 120 kilos on an incline. That's cool. Ooh, lovely. Let's have a look at the calves. Let's have a look. Not the strongest, not my strongest muscle group. I definitely want to get those fired up a lot more. Right, to the next exercise. I'm going to do another seated calf raise, as opposed to on the leg press machine. This one's specifically designed for seated calf raise. I would say this one is not as comfortable, but it's another type anyway. Sometimes the pad, because it's at an angle, ends up digging in your leg. So it really depends on the weight. As it starts to get heavier, pushes right in your quad. But this one, it's only got 20 kilos on, so it's okay. when you're doing any kind of calf raise, you can angle the feet in or out, and it works on the different parts of the calves. If you turn, oh, I can't really see from here. One sec. For instance, hold on. Probably can't see, but if you turn your feet out, you'll start to work on the calves, on the inner part. If you turn it in, you start to work on the outer part. If you keep it straight, you pretty much work both sides. If you've got one area which is lagging over another, you could always choose to switch it. But I just tend to keep it in the middle so that I'm not switching around or I don't forget one side to the other. I think both sides are equally weak on my calves anyway. I do tend to go heavy, but sometimes I just focus a bit more on volume. It varies. In this case, I might do more volume. 40 kilos is okay. Yes. All right. That's cool for calves. I might come back a bit later and do a bit more calves, but now what I want to do is go to the squat area. I'm a big fan of squats, but sometimes doing squats is quite exhausting, and I just want to focus on firing up the quads without exhausting my whole body. Squats is incredible for full body, a great compound. You engage your core, your posterior chain, quads, hams, glutes, just everything. And what I like to do is like a cross between a split squat and a Jefferson squat. And it goes like this. You grab the bar. There is probably a name for it. I'm not too sure what it is. You stand over it like you're doing a split squat. Rather than having the bar on your shoulder, you have it underneath. So get in a lunge or split squat position. Grab the bar nice and evenly. And then you could go down and drive up. Really good. Legs nice and straight, go down. Drive up. It's an amazing exercise when you just want to work on quads and glutes and a bit of hamstrings. Fantastic. It's like perfect for isolation, just keeping the weight on the lower part of the body. And another great reason is it's like a natural move. Not even like a natural move, it's a natural move. So it's not like overexhausting at any particular body part by like a leg curl or leg extension. So it's a functional move. Guess what I'm doing? Calf raises again. Another seated calf raise machine. Now, I wouldn't necessarily suggest this for everyone, but ass calves is something I really want to build. I just mix up the calf exercises and just keep working it. It's the only way it's going to be balanced out to the rest of my body. So I'm going to do a bit of volume on this and do some heavy weight.
All right.
Good, man. Good. You're right. See.
Not too bad.
Okay, let's load up these plates now. Go for some heavy weight. I think after this machine, I'm gonna do some deadlifts and then probably end it there. Again, one of those where I go by the way I feel. By the way I feel. Today I was like, you know what? A very calf dominant leg session. Still hitting some quads, still hitting some hamstrings and some glutes, but mainly calves. I will come in again during the week and I'll focus a bit more on hamstrings and quads. But today, a bit more calves. When you train, you don't have to follow any kind of traditional amount of sets or reps, or I don't know, people do push-pull legs and all that sort of thing. These are cool as a standardized way to get you in the gym. You might do German volume training, you might do supersets or drop sets. All these different training principles is cool. But then once you've been training for a while, you just start to customize so it works directly for you. Done a bit more repetitions than I expected. Why not? Probably up the weight a little bit more and try and focus on between 6 to 8 reps. What was that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 160. Okay, cool. We're gonna go for 200 kilos. 200 kilos on this is gonna be easier than if I had done it on the leg press, which was on an incline, because the weight was coming down. It would have been harder, a lot more pressure on the calves. Don't be fooled by the weight. It's easier when you're seated in a straight position. Still a challenge though, don't get me wrong, but definitely easier. I wouldn't have been able to do this on an incline. Holy shit. Let's go again. Let it go. Shoot. That was uncomfortable. That's what it's about. I'm going to finish off my legs with some deadlifts. I'm going to do some Romanian deadlifts specifically because I want to focus a bit more on posterior chain. So basically everything behind me. So we're going to be hitting hamstrings, glutes, and also back. All right. Let's go. The difference between Romanian deadlifts and a conventional one is positioning of the body. With a traditional one, you go lower and you're focusing, it's a bit more quad dominant when you're doing it. But with Romanian deadlift, the knees don't go over the bar, the knees are straight and your backside is stuck out a little bit more. So it's almost like the bar is close to grazing your leg as you're coming up. A bit more in an upright position as opposed to a seated position. All right. I'm going to keep the legs quite narrow with a narrow stance that focuses a lot more on hamstrings. Wider distributes where the focus is going to be, works a bit more of an inner thigh. We want to get it nice and on the hamstrings and glutes. Ooh. Ay. Three. Three. Bit of a light one today, light workout. In terms of strength, not feeling crazy strong. I'm just getting it in, just getting the workout done. There's some days I'm feeling super strong. Today is not it. Maybe it was my sleep. Maybe it was my food. I haven't eaten just yet. I've just had a coffee mixed with some collagen. And I've had some supplements this morning. Cod liver oil, magnesium, vitamin D3. I think maybe a nootropic, some other stuff. Can't remember off the top of my head. Normally I'll have quite a lot. I think I've done a video about the supplements I take, but it's not even all of them. I take them at different times of the day, some in the morning, some in the afternoon, some sparingly, depending how I feel. You know, I'm going to do one more set on this right here, then I'm going to call it a day. All right. Nice and narrow. Keep the bar nice and close to the leg and make sure you don't collapse your back by curving it. We don't want a banana back. Control it down. As you pull up, drive the hips forward and then push the hips back, control down. Drive up quick. And then slowly return. Control. Drive. Control. Drive. Control. And control. I don't know how many reps that was, but that's enough for me. Cool session today. Very basic, but so much of the exercises that I focus on when it comes to quads and hamstrings are normally natural functional moves. I do use many of the things like, let's say, extensions. There's different forms of it, leg extensions and hamstring curls, but I try to keep it as natural moves, especially as I'm mid-40s. I want to work on mobility, flexibility, functionality, as well as building strength and building muscle. I'm not trying to overexert and just build muscle just for the sake of it. I want muscle for functionality, so I'm strong as well, but strong in the right positions. not just through leg extensions. That's like almost like a pointless exercise in terms of worldly functionality. In what part of my life will I need to do leg extensions? Nothing. Whereas, you know, lunges, squats, that type of thing, or a deadlift, it's functionality to it. That's one of my key focuses. You are going to get some superficial exercises like calf raises. There's no real functional move with that, but you have to find these type of exercises to build those muscles. Same with biceps, or you can train biceps through as a secondary muscle and some exercises. Like anytime you do back, for instance, you always train arms or biceps in particular. But for isolation, you need to do these type of exercises. But for legs, very important for me, functionality and mobility. You'll see some of the other superficial exercises I'll throw in probably on another leg video. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, peace.